Hello, hello. Happy Monday, everyone. Let's see if I get a notification for this on my iPad. How are you all today? Ah, there it is. Whoops. Well, let's see here. It was there and now it's gone. Hi Pat, how are you? Thank you for sprinkling. I am trying to find this on my iPad. There it is. There we go. I have comments and everything. Let me sprinkle it out. Okay. There we go. I did it. I did it. So we'll see how long that lasts. How is everyone today? I am very, very, very warm out here. It's 107 outside, so the garage is just sweltering. So this probably will not be that long of a live, just to give you a heads up from the beginning. And hi Letus, if you're there. So if you're new, my name is Linda Anderson. I own Aqueous Silk LLC. I'm a water marbling artist and all-around crafter. And I spent most of my day with my sewing machine today, and it was wonderful. And so the denim I marbled a few weeks back, I've got my handbag all cut out. Hi Ramona, thank you so much. And I'm gonna do the lining for the bag tonight. I couldn't go very far. I've got the handles stitched, I've got the fabric fused to the real stiff interfacing, and that's about all. I did sew the bottom to the bag and then realized I had to put the handles there, so I had to take it out. But I am ready to go. I was hoping to get the bag done today. Obviously I didn't. So without further ado, let's start marbling. So I'm going to come around the other way and move this, because I'm going to try something to see if I can't give you a little bit better view. You can look at the garage door for a couple minutes. And then there's the ceiling. There we go. So I'm going to come around front and see how we look. I just wanted to lift it up so maybe you can see the whole thing. Not yet. Okay. I don't know if I can reach it. All right, I'm going to have to move the whole thing forward. Try that. This might take a second. All right, a little bit more. It's so hard when you have no arms to reach over everything. And I want to get it nice and tight. All right, I think that'll do it. at it from this side, that's pretty good. You can just missing one corner here. Okay, so we're gonna do the fabric for the lining of the bag, and I just want, I am just gonna do stones for the inside. No combing, because the fabric on the outside is combed, so I don't want to do that. I could freestyle, I guess. We'll see how it looks when I get the colors in there. And yes, I could do my broom straw, but I don't want to clean it after I'm done. I get so hot after I'm working out here. I haven't yet started sewing the top. The one modification we're making, I needed some elastic, and I needed a measurement from my daughter, and she did send that to me this afternoon. So next week, next weekend, I hope to be, I might have to freestyle this, so let's just drop this. It's not the same when I do the, when I don't do the broom straw. I don't like it quite as well. I like the random drops that the broom straw gives me. And we do have bubbles. But this is going to be cotton for the lining of the bag. As I was tearing out the seam that I sewed together a little too early, and there's some dry paint, I decided that I wanted to do just a little bit of quilting on the bag, so I'm glad I took it apart. So when I get to sit down and sew again on that, I will add that to the sides and the bottom. So the bottom of the bag is just regular denim, and the top portion is marbled denim in these colors here. Okay. So I left last Wednesday and went camping, and we went up Wednesday night to my daughter's house, and then we left from there on Thursday morning and got to our camping spot. I think we were set up by 10 o'clock, and then we went hiking. Oh my gosh, they say it's a moderate hike, and it really truly isn't that bad, but oh, it was warm in the afternoon when we went. It was in the 90s, and it just felt like it was a million degrees, and there was a lot of up and down. Most of it was a very groomed trail, so it was nice to walk on, but there were parts that were not, and they were a little bit slippery, and dirt. So I huffed and puffed my way up and down those hills, and it was so worth it. There's 3 falls in this one creek. And we went to, the first day we went to the the lower falls and the middle falls. And then the final day we walked in, we went a little earlier, and we hiked in there and got to the upper falls. There, didn't feel like walking on the wet rocks. because they were very, very slippery. And I had all my camera gear, and I just didn't want to leave it in case somebody, came down the path. And so we were there for quite a while, and then we started back up, and then we met several people coming back down into where the water was. And so we were so happy that we went early so we could have it to ourselves. The video I posted, hi Julie, the video I posted was the upper falls where the swimming area is. Oh, just a minute. Let me get my assistant. Dear, can you come help me, please? But the kids were so patient with me because that's quite a hike in there, and but we were happy that we had it all to ourselves. And like I said, the video I posted is of the upper falls and then looking down the creek from the falls, and it was just beautiful. If you could camp back in there, oh my gosh, I would be in heaven right on that creek. It was beautiful. This one's just a little too floppy for me to do by myself. Just get it kind of over here, yeah. Okay. Perfect, thank you. I'm gonna have one more. I can't get it both on here. All right, I can do this one, I think. But it was so much fun. And this is a little town where I used to live when I was a little girl. And so I got to show the kids, where I used to live on the hill. And then, I showed them the church that I went to, and I showed them the where all of my friends lived when I lived there, and where the school used to be. We called it's a teeny weeny little place, and so we called the people that do the museum, and they came down and opened up the museum, and we wandered around that for a while. And I was recognizing all kinds of names. All right, there we go. So I got all but 2 pieces of the lining in here. So I'm going to take these out one at a time. I'm going to rinse them in the bucket. And then I'm going to go hang them up immediately. I have the rack out here still because it dries so fast. And I can just drip right all over the floor in here. Oops. I forget, I have to put it over 2 rungs because it sticks to itself. And then we were looking for some huckleberries, and those are kind of like a wild blueberry, but they're much better than blueberries in my opinion. But it was so dry up there that we just really only found a handful. And so we did that, and then we drove a road that I had never been on, to my knowledge. On the way back home, we stopped in my hometown because we moved from an itty-bitty town to a small town. And so we stopped there for lunch, and then off to the kids' house. So it was It was great. I stopped to see my parents, and then we came home. So it's been a fun few days. When I camp, I prefer camping right by water. And there was no water right close to us. There was what we called the pond. It's a small reservoir, but we always called it the pond when I was there. I was quite young and did not yet know how to swim. And we were out in the water when I was little. And, whoops, get the microphone out of my armpit. You might be able to hear me. We were swimming out there. Well, I didn't know that there was a drop off. And so I'm splashing around and swimming a little bit, no life jacket or anything. And all of a sudden I stepped off that drop off and I started bobbing and kicking and squealing and swallowing pond water and the whole 9 yards. And there was an adult on the dock. There's the next piece. And she finally got up and yanked me up out of the water. I was not very big when I was little. And set me down on the dock. And she said, "Don't you know you're supposed to float on your back?" Well, I had no idea how to float on my back. And so after we moved, one of the first things, Mom put me in swimming lessons. And I loved it. So now we tease about it now, about floating on your back. But I just love it when I see the videos of little babies learning how to swim, learning how to roll over on their backs. All right, so there's the first bunch. Get this all hands dried and the rinse bucket moved over. I also am going to be trying some new papers today. I got one kind of paper. It says it's for every medium. Will work for every type of medium. So we will see. I'm going to move this thing so it keeps getting in this microphone keeps getting stuck in the hem of my t-shirt sleeve. So I am putting it up closer to my face. Hi, Diana. Hi, Tasha. Hi, Shelly. He's back in the house. I'll tell him you said hi. I'm sure he's not watching. But it was just, it brought back so many memories. It was great fun. I got to tell the kids some of the stories and the ones I could remember. And then they get to go camping again this coming weekend. I'm so jealous. They're going to a rodeo with some friends in another little town. And her friend lives in that town. So they get to camp right in their yard. Woo! Look it, I made all kinds of bubbles. So I had a great time away. I'm going to hate going back to work tomorrow. Back to real life. Especially after getting to sew all day today. It's just in my happy place. Okay, a few little bubbles remain here. There we go. There. That's pretty good. One more out here. All right, so let's go again. I have little bitty pieces of hair that are escaping my hat. And they're just long enough to stick to the side of my face. That's why I didn't put on big earrings today, because I figured they're going to stick in the heat. My face gets sweaty. So who else did something fun since we've last visited? Anyone else getting this terrible heat? But, you know, it's not so bad, but it's just going on forever. Usually we don't have this many hot days. But, you know, I'm hopeful that this means that we won't get any more hot days this summer. We get them over with all at once. Yeah, see, it's drying in the tip just as quickly as the paint comes out. Let me grab a dropper. I knew that was going to happen. Oh, where are they? Of course, I don't see them in here when I need them. So I'm going to have to... I have a whole bunch of them in here. Oh, I found one. Yay! Okay. I need water. You know, I don't like using this thing because that means it puts bubbles on the water. Right. Now let's add some more of the teal. We still haven't taken all of our, oh my gosh, I have to tell you. We got there and we were ready to get all set up. We got the tents out, you know, kids were putting theirs up and we were doing ours. We got it laid out there and then we went to look for the poles. Yeah, we didn't bring the poles with us. And we have an 8-person tent just for the 2 of us. So it's a big one. And we're like, now what do we do? But we had brought one of our little easy ups for shade. And so I suggested we had some rope. And I said, well, why don't we tie the top of the tent to the rope and the center of the easy up and have that hold it up. So we thought, okay, we'll try that. So we did, and it worked, but then the sides were still sagging. So we found a stick, tied a rope to a piece of stick, and run it through the sides where the poles go. And there you go. Then we tied that up to the easy up, and then we used a clamp and some rope and held the front of it out so that the door would open. Yeah, we're over 100 degrees all week this week, and it's just disgusting. But so we literally MacGyvered that thing up. It stayed up. We didn't have any problem. So let me get extra hands here. One more time, dear. And then I had come home from work on Wednesday, and I quickly threw in hamburger and I threw in brats, and then we, ran out the door. And so we get up there and we're cooking the burgers, and we realize we don't have a turner, or we get ready to cook the burgers. Let's turn it the other way. Perfect. Go ahead. Great, thank you. So we had to go into town to get ice, because we still have the kind of cooler that it doesn't hold ice for very long, especially when it's this hot. So we drove into town, which was literally a mile away, and went to the little store, got some ice. I was hoping they would have a turner for people who forget things like that. Nope, they didn't. But they did have these little tongs. They had ice tongs. So I thought, okay, well, we bought two ice tongs, and thought, well, we could figure out how to turn the burgers with those. We get back out to camp, and let's see, I'm going to put in one headband in this extra. Do you see that thing pull up when it got wet? So we got those, and then we put and my daughter was supposed to bring her little bitty briquette barbecuer, just a little one, and we forgot that. So we had the fire pit with the grate on it, but I didn't want to cook on that thing. And so we put the foil down, we made burgers, and they were cooking very nicely, and we're trying to figure out, now what do we do? Well, my daughter's boyfriend, he split off a tiny little sliver of wood. He wrapped it in foil, and between the tongs and our makeshift turner, we got the burgers turned. Everything worked out, and it actually worked out really well. And then we used the tongs the next day. Well, we made sticks for over the fire for the hot dogs the next day. We couldn't decide if we were having brats or if we were having hot dogs. So we did have hot dogs. But it worked. And then Ashley had made these little croissants that had egg and bacon in them, scrambled egg and bacon, and she wrapped them in croissants. They were really, really yummy. And so we put those on the fire the next morning with the foil and heated them up in little foil packets, and they worked so well, and it was so yummy to have a nice hot breakfast. So these little narrow pieces here that I'm just taking out, those are the bag that I'm making has a zipper across the top. And so this is where the zipper goes. And this will just line the denim where the zipper is. But it was It was pretty fun. We just laughed at all the things we had to come up with a way to make it work. And we did. The only thing we didn't figure out is how to get cool. We did go out to the pond, and I did not swim. I liked a little bigger area to swim in. So everything's marbling very nicely tonight. All right. So I've got one more piece to do. And then, whoops, I forgot the paper upstairs. Thank you, Shelley. Notice no pink today. Okay, let me clean this up, and I'll run upstairs and get the paper. I pressed it when I was pressing. I washed some new fabric for a quilt, another quilt. Today I have the name on the heart quilt that I've been working on. That's sewn on. So now I just have to figure out if I'm going to baffle this thing. Thank you. I'm going to baffle the quilt, or if I'm going to just do the top and then send it. I've got to check with my friend and see if she has time to quilt it for me. Because I think it's just going to be too cumbersome to do on my machine. And I think it'll be too hard on my machine. The last thing I want to do is destroy my new to me machine. So we'll see what she has to say. So I think I'd rather do that than baffling it. All right, do it one more time. The whole time we were out there, we kept thinking, oh, look that up on your phone. Well, we had no cell service out there unless we were in town, unless we were standing. You know, it's one of those where you go, okay, back up. Okay, lift your left arm, raise your right foot. Now don't move. One of those kind of things. My daughter's been practicing. She was very, very good in Spanish when she was in high school and early college, but then she didn't use it much, so she kind of got a little, not so good at it. She'd forgotten a lot. So she's been practicing, and she has an app, and she gets like points for consecutive days, and she's on a 140 some day streak, and she didn't want to let it lapse. Oh, I'm so hot. And so we'd have to go into town and see if we could find just the right spot, and then sit there just in the truck while she did her lesson. People thought we were a little bit crazy. Okay. So I want a piece of newsprint here. So I don't have a very big piece, just one more of these. Actually, oh, I didn't bring any green out. Let's just make a big flower here. I'll still block that. Oh my gosh, I'm sweating and it's getting into my eyes. I'm so sorry, guys. All right, there we go. So I'm going to try one of the papers. I think I will try, we'll use these. Oh, I can't. Yeah, I can. Yes, I can. So I prepped the papers two different ways, same two types of paper. One is actually a canvas sheet, and one is paper. I hopefully didn't do a critical error there, putting the orange and the blue together. Whoops. I've got yellow drips everywhere. I cannot get one single drop today. Okay. So we are just going to go a little nuts. Get a fresh paper towel. Pop the bubble I created. We even have a fan out here, and I am still just melting. We've been talking about taking down all the sheetrock in here and adding some really heavy insulation to make it more bearable, both in the summer and in the winter. But I haven't done it yet. Okay, I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to cover my mic when I go in so you can't hear the TV. Forgot my paper upstairs. Oh my goodness, I am so hot. Okay. So this is one of the canvas sheets. And I can't tell which side I'm supposed to use. I'm going to use the back. I don't know. Maybe I'll use the front. Like I said, now I prepped this two different ways. Let me get the other piece. Okay, let me grab the tray. Oh, it worked. I see a couple of dots where there were bubbles. So let me rinse this one. All right, let's pull the other one out and see if there's any difference. Oh, I see it starting to run. Can you see that right there? That blue is starting to run. Oh, look at that. That one didn't do it at all. Interesting. And the orange is rinsing right off. So next time, I think what I'll do is I'll let these dry and then I will prep them again and try the other side. Because I do like the way the other side feels. But these are pieces of canvas. It's supposed to be canvas paper. Huh. All right then. I am going to have such a collection of paper that I don't know what to do with. So I should have gone with my instinct. All right. So let's do this other headband. And then we'll try the other paper. Trying to get this paper torn down to the correct size. We have a bubble right here. Doesn't want to come out. All right. Actually, I changed my mind. Let's just do it all in one tank. Because I am roasting. Oops. See that? Can you see that little piece of blue? Oh, it was floating. I just made it sink. Ooh. No problem getting that orange out of there. If I can get a little more of the yellow out. Well, now I need some more orange. Doesn't it always work like that? All right. Gonna let that yellow disperse a little bit. Oh, see that blue is sticking back up here. There we go. Got it. Okay, it looks like we need still yet some more yellow. We were laughing at the stories we can tell from this camping trip. But we made it work. I'm so happy we did bring the Easy Up. We generally always do. We bring my old one, not my good one that I take to shows. And it works pretty well. Last time we camped, we put it up and, used it, put our table under there, and that's where we made sandwiches. But we had a huge picnic table. I bought a tablecloth for it, and it wasn't nearly big enough. I should have bought a larger one, or two. Okay, let me get this headband in here. And now we'll put down the paper. I don't know if there's a right or wrong side to this. As you can see, it wants to start rolling up. Hey, they say for any medium, so we'll see if they're right. I know that's curling, but I'm going to get this headband out of here first. Get it rinsed and hung up. Okay, there's that. Now let's see how this paper did. Look at it curl. So I can see this one a little bit. It never did touch on the side. See, I'm used to the paper that lays right down flat. Okay, the orange wants to run. on both of them. Can you see this? The mark right here? I don't know if you can see it. The one on the right, see right here, there's a big bubble where it didn't touch. So let me rinse them and see how they do. All right, turn it around, rinse the other one. I'm going to have to take this plastic off of here. Well, I can tell you the orange is not cooperating. The yellow looks really good. The orange just wants to kind of run off. I'll rinse it once more and then I'll let you see. So see how it looks really fuzzy? That means it's coming off. This one isn't as bad, but it's still doing it. All right, so we'll see how they dry. All right. Okay, guys. Oh, see if I can't turn you up. Just 1 second. Wiggle, wiggle. Okay, that's all I have. Oh, I'm all sweaty. And for tonight, I'm going to get this collected and I'm going to go back in where there's air conditioning. Now, I will try to remember to record the steps or maybe go live while I'm sewing the bag this weekend, or the top. I want to work on the top as well. So I may see you. You just may see a reel. I'm not sure what's going to work. So take care, everyone. Stay cool. Have a wonderful week. And if you see someone without a smile, give them one of yours. It doesn't cost you anything and it might just make their day. So take care, everyone. I appreciate each of you being here. Bye-bye.